Okay, so when you think of Dubai, well, if you ever do think of Dubai, I don't think about it a lot myself. What do you think of? What do you envisage? What comes to your mind? Is it the tall, glittering skyscrapers? Perhaps the fabulous shopping experience you can have there? Maybe it's the desert heat and all that goes with these Arabian countries and cities. All of that type of thing. Is that what comes to your mind? Well, it's what comes to my mind. But although I'm not a betting man per se, I would wager that one thing that does not come to your mind is rain. But maybe all that is about to change. Okay, so based as I am here in Ireland, rain is not really much of a mystery to us. In fact, we get so much rain here, sometimes I start to think that we invented this stuff. You know, you can have too much of a good thing, and although I'm thankful for all the greenery and the great agricultural benefits that we get from it, sometimes I just think, rain, would you ever just fuck off? Anyway, a place that doesn't have that particular problem, in fact it has the opposite problem, is Arabia, the deserts of the Arabian Peninsula, all those places out there, Dubai, the Emirates, Saudi Arabia, take your pick, Bahrain, whatever. They get very little rain. In fact, sometimes they get no rain. They do have a lot of sun, which is exactly the opposite problem we here in Ireland seem to have. We get bugger all sun, but by God do we get a lot of rain. Now, why am I bringing up this topic of rain and Dubai? Surely you're thinking, well, those two things they're not even in the same universe. Where could you possibly be going with that? Well, I'll tell you where I'm going with that. Recently, Dubai, in the midst of, I would say, one of its never-ending ongoing heat waves, decided they'd come up with a bit of a solution. We do live in a modern age of science, a modern age of technology, so why not adapt that to the whole rain problem? And that's exactly what they did. So come with me and let's see what the people of Dubai, and in league with the scientific community, the boffins, the people who know much better about technological advancement than plebs like me, let's see what they have all been up to, because they have been busy. Let's hop on over here too. We start off with the New York Post, sure, why not? New York. Right, Dubai making its own rain to beat 120 degree heat. Of course, we're in Fahrenheit because it's American. That's Jackie Salo there. Let's see what Jackie has to say. That's one way to beat the heat. Officials in Dubai are using drones to artificially increase rainfall as the city grapples with oppressive heat. A video this week shows. We're going to have a look at a few videos now in a minute. So just, patience. The rain-making technology, known as quote, cloud seeding, was put into use as summer temperatures have surged past 120 degrees Fahrenheit in the UAE, the United Arab Emirates city, The Independent reported. That's the newspaper, The Independent. Experts have said the technology aims to make rain fall more efficiently inside clouds, and in doing so make more water come down, which is kind of the whole point of the exercise, making more water come down, because by God they need it. Drones are used to shoot electrical charges into the clouds, causing them to clump together and trigger more rainfall. Well, that's all marvellous work. You can see here footage shared on Sunday by the UAE's National Centre of Meteorology showed the intense showers flooding roads, in addition to flashes of lightning. So Jesus, it may as well be in Ireland on a typical day there, if that's what's going on. There's that picture of the drone there. Did a video not so long ago on drones, slightly different context. Sorry, there's a fly buzzing around me there, annoying the hell out of me. So we had a bit of this kind of drone. But now we're going to look at an altogether more benign use of drones, and here we have a benign use of drones here. She goes on, okay, we got that bit. The rainmaking has become common in dry countries such as the United Arab Emirates, which typically only records 4 inches of rain a year. The Independent reported 4 inches of rain. I think we get that most days, in fact most mornings, before about 10 o'clock. The global water shortage is worsening in many parts of the world, so the demand for fresh water is increasing, said Linda Zhao Zhu, a professor at UAE's Khalifa University of Science and Technology. What have we got here? Oh, that's a picture, right? Can't play that, there's no video there. Rainmaking has become common, we got that. Cloud seeding could be one of the methods that can contribute to alleviating the water problem. Now you say, oh Jesus, I assume that's the one of the drones there. Looks like a lot of rocket launchers on there, but I assume that's the things that ping in the electrical charge. Alright, okay, that's enough of the New York Post. The Sun. If ever you want to get to the nub of a matter, go to the Sun. Oh, it's the US Sun. Alright, there must be different suns around the place. Obviously part of the same stable, one should imagine. The Sun writes, the United Arab Emirates is making its own rain using high-tech drones to stave off brutal, and we've got the Celsius and Fahrenheit here, so it's 50 degrees C and 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I know because we work in Celsius over this part of the world, 50 degrees is pretty freaking hot. Right, the specialist drones, they put in the electric charge and it kickstarts the downpour. There's another one of the drones there. Britain's University of Reading helped create the cloud seeding drone tech, so you can't write off the Brits. They're still very much at the cutting edge. It's not all Silicon Valley, it's not all MIT, it's not all Harvard. The Brits are still well in the hunt there in terms of a bit of technology and getting things done. Right, so you can see a picture there. The UAE has been blasted with heavy rain recently, because they made it. They blasted themselves, essentially. The UAE has significant problems when it comes to water resource. You don't say, being a desert kingdom. Its water table is sinking and global temperatures are steadily rising. So the arid nation is pumping money into finding reprieve from the heat, with $15 million spent on 9 rain-related projects. Well, they're really going for it. 9 projects on the go. They're not holding back. 15 million. It's only a drop in the bucket, the water bucket. It's only a drop in the bucket to the UAE, to Dubai. I think they have 15 million. Wouldn't exactly give them much sleepless nights. I think they can afford that. One ongoing project is called cloud seeding. We're talking about this in the last article. This involves using drones and shooting electrical charge into the clouds, and it kind of all coalesces and shit like that. And suddenly you're in the middle of a downpour. Right, this bunching effect makes rainfall more likely. Right, when the drops merge and are big enough, they will fall as rain, said Professor Martin Ambaum, speaking to the BBC. Recent footage released by the UAE's National Centre of Meteorology has shown huge downpours across the country, which is exactly what they were hoping to achieve. But it's still unclear how significant the effect that the drones are having. However, cloud seeding has been used before. Ski resorts in Colorado, says the Sun, reportedly use this technique to induce heavier snowfall, according to phys.org. I don't read that, have to say. Right, so the drones not only do a bit of this, which is, let's face it, that's a bit disconcerting. They can also have very, very good effects too. Making snow where they want a bit of snow, and making rain where they want a bit of rain. What have we got? More pictures there of floods and okay. There's a all right, bit of desert there with a puddle. Fair enough. Oh Jesus, okay. That's a fairly waterlogged road there, and that's in the UAE. That's in the desert. So that's like a road you'd see in, most of Ireland on any given day. Nothing strange to my eyes there. The only strange bit is it's in the middle of the Arabian desert. Right, okay, well, let's get a little bit more in depth view of this whole situation. So let's go to the Mail Online. Again, we have the headline there: Dubai making its own rain to tackle the drone blast clouds with electrical charge. We know all that. We got that from the previous bits. The rain is formed using the technology, and it shoots the shocks and all that. All right, what else have you got for us? It's creating its rain. Yeah, we got that formed. Okay, we got that. The UAE is one of the most arid countries on earth, and it hopes the technique could help increase its meager annual rainfall. All right, we got some video here. There you go. No sound effects on that one, unfortunately, but sure. Probably put some music in there or something, just jazz it up a bit. Okay. Alright. No mess in there. And that's in the desert. It's fairly belting down. What else have we got here? That's a picture. Right. Play this on a bit. Doesn't matter. Anyway, you get the picture. So, a lot of rain going on, and they've made it themselves. Okay, monsoon-like downpour across the country, which creates a sheet of rain on the highways. Very good. Well done to the boffins there on that one. Waterfalls are also seen on the side of roads as drivers and SUVs struggle to navigate the torrential rain, despite the country being in the middle of a summer heat wave where the temperatures are above 50 C. It's 50 Celsius. That's some savage heat over there. I'm not sure how long the water would last. If that's the kind of overall temperature you're working with, I mean, Jesus, it would burn off pretty fast, one would imagine. So I'm not sure how, like here it just, be pretty damp to begin with. The water falls and usually kind of just lies there for a long time, all day. The grass is just wet all day. You can't lie on it. You couldn't play football and you'd be skidding all over the place. So I don't know how that pans out in the UAE, where you've got, essentially 50 degree heat. You get a downpour, a bit of a monsoon for an hour or two. Surely that'd just evaporate off in 10 minutes. I don't know. Maybe it'll say something here. So yeah, okay. The centre said the precipitation has been enhanced by a technique known as cloud seeding, and its purpose is to increase condensation, and it triggers a downpour. Right, we know all that bit. So they're spending 15 million. Yeah, okay, good. To generate. Okay, 15. So they get 15 times less than what falls on average in the UK. I mean, that's Ireland too. There's a few people looking at a drone there. That's it's not that big, really, is it? It's like something you'd kind of buy for your kids. Christmas, fly around the garden and stuff with it. You know what I mean? You can get drones now for everything, with little cameras on them. You fly them around your house, and it's good. They're not all about this, No, drones can be good too. I mean, look, you can even get them to do this. So don't be hard on the old drones, I mean, they're not all just basically out there hunting and killing people. Drones are doing good work too. I think Amazon has got some drones coming online. They're going to basically fly up to your front door and drop off your Amazon package. I think that's coming down the track. So don't be ragging on the drones too much, because come a day when drones are taking over, you want to be nice to them. Right, so there's another drone going to get shot up into the stratosphere, I suppose, to do some good work. What have we got here? I suppose that's some kind of scientific representation. What's this? Simulation shows how small water droplets within clouds collide. Right. Alright, fair enough. I suppose that's a lot of water droplets colliding and getting bigger and stuff. Fair enough, yeah. Alright, I buy that. So I guess when enough of them collide together, the thing gets too heavy to bounce around anymore in the cloud, and it just has to come down and land on your head. Right, got a graphic here just for all us slow learners. Okay, so number one, the drones are equipped with a payload of electrical charge and emission instruments and sensors. Good stuff. And you lad there you see him there with he's got his remote control, and he's flying the drone up into the cloud. Number two, human operators on the ground direct the drones towards the clouds where they unleash their electrical charges. That's it. It'd be a good fun job, actually, if you're the lad flying it. I mean, it's worse. worse ways to make a living. Clouds naturally, this is number 3, clouds naturally carry positive and negative charges. By altering the balance of these charges, the electric shock enables the water droplets to merge and stick together. So they're kind of dicking around with the positives and negatives there. Which I suppose in physics, you know, things happen when you do that, and in this case, rain happens. The rain is being created using drone technology, led by experts in the University of Reading. So fair play to the Brits; they're on the ball here. Well, this is the male, so we're supposed to kind of big that up as much as they can. Right, we got Professor Martin Armour. We got him there. He was telling the BBC stuff. The technology uses a drone to release the charge. We got that. The droplets merge and then they fall in. Blah blah blah. Who's this guy here? Alia Al Mazraoui, director of the UAE's Rain Enhancement Science Research Programme, told Arab News in March, equipped with a payload of electrical charge emission instruments and customised sensors, these drones will fly at low altitudes and deliver electric shock to air molecules, which encourage the precipitation. Right, I think we have the basic principle here. They're spending 15 million, we know about all that. The country's Abu Dhabi based forecasters monitor weather radars to tell pilots flying the drones when to take off on rain-inducing missions. Now, the only thing the only issue I might have with this is, like, what if you have like a clear blue sky? There's no clouds. There's not a lot you can do there if you just don't have any clouds to be dicking around with. I assume the first thing you need is an actual cloud. Now, I'm no desert expert, but a lot of the footage I've seen in films and movies and programs, whatever, based in deserts, there's usually not a lot of clouds. So I'm assuming they must have some way around that, or they just wait for a cloud to happen by and then they attack it with these drones, shooting the old zapping it with the electrical energy, giving it a bit of ray gun stuff. Right, as soon as they see some convective cloud formations, right, so they're basically out there watching. If a lad watching, and they probably have people at radar screens and stuff, so they know when there's a cloud heading your way. So they get on the phone, get on the blower to the chap or girl, because I'm sure it's equal opportunities, although it's the Gulf states, so I'm not sure if it's all. Well, anyway. You know how that works. Anyway, so they're watching for the cloud to happen by. They get on the radar. The spotters see it. Get on the blower to the person with the drone, and the remote control presses play. Off goes the drone to zap the cloud. So yeah, okay. So speaking from the airbase that housed the 4 Beechcraft King Air C-90 aircraft that are used for the country's cloud seeding program, Mr. Newman said the team would then attempt to seed the cloud if the conditions are right. At that time, clouds form over the eastern Al Hajar Mountains, which deflect the warm wind blowing from the Gulf of Oman. So they form kind of over the mountains, and then they head on into the desert, and then these guys basically are waiting in the wings. And they leap out from behind the bushes with the drone, zap them, Bob's your uncle, torrential rain. It's perfect, it's brilliant. If we've got a mild updraft, we usually burn 1 or 2 flares. If we've got a good updraft, we burn 4, sometimes 6 flares into the cloud, so you zap them depending on what way the cloud is. Not every cloud they see produces rainfall, so it's not an exact science yet, but they often do, according to Mr. Newman. It's fantastic, he says. As soon as there is rain, there's a lot of excitement, people dancing in puddles and stuff like that. You know, when you're a kid, you're out in your wellies, you're dancing in puddles and kicking water around until your mother got you, and that was the end of that. Anyway, whether cloud seeding is effective at increasing rainfall, however, is still under investigation. Many scientists, the Mail goes on to say, doubt whether it has a noticeable impact on rain levels. It mightn't even be worth a shite at the end of the day. US ski resorts, we got that, make snow, which is fair enough for a bit of skiing. You know, you go to a ski resort, you at least want to be able to ski there, or you could just go to the pub and stay there all day. I don't know. Skiing's good too, but it was also used ahead of the 2008 Beijing Olympics, and the Chinese aren't slow on this stuff either. Opening ceremony to create a downpour elsewhere and keep the stadium. So they were basically making it rain everywhere but there. Well, that's another way of doing it. Distant fire. Okay, this time they were firing rockets packed with silver iodide crystals. So, okay, probably it's another way of getting the cloud to give off its load. Iodide crystals, don't know what they are. They don't sound too good. I wouldn't need too many of them. The former, there's a picture of a fairly rainy day in Dubai. The former USSR also apparently used cloud seeding to prevent radioactive fallout from Chernobyl. All right, so even in '86, they were on the ball with this. Not bad. Okay, so this is not new. They've been working on this for a while, it seems. Well done to all involved. There's a lad sitting in the desert, not much rain there. Is there anything else here we need to see? The Gulf country. This is the UAE. The Gulf country accounts for 14% of the world's desalinated water and is the second largest producer after Saudi Arabia. Okay, the 30 has 33. That's making seawater into fresh drinking water, desalination. The country has 33 desalination plants that provide 42% of its needs, according to the 2013 report by the Environment and Water Ministry. Rain triggered, though, through cloud seeding is much cheaper than desalinated water, according to Omar Al-Yazidi, head of research at NCMs. Don't know who they are, but I'm sure they're pretty switched on. Desalination is not cheap. Not cheap at all. I don't know a lot about it, but one thing I do know about it is it's not cheap. So I suppose making the clouds actually rain, giving you the fresh water in the first place, you don't have to do anything to get it except put out a bucket and just let the bucket fill up or whatever. This shows it's a huge amount of water. It could be tapped. Yeah, so alright, fair enough. There's a lad, there he is, sitting in the desert. Is he on his phone? Or is he just staring off to the sunset wistfully, praying for rain, wishing for rain? Could be. Alright, yeah, that's enough of that. Right, so there you go, Dubai. On the ball there with the help of the Brits, and I'm sure many others, making rain fall in a place where there's no rain and is not known for rain. And they, whenever there is rain, people basically throw parties, run around pegging water at each other, jumping in puddles, kicking up, kicking water at each other, wearing Wellington boots. And they think it's marvellous. Not quite so marvellous in my part of the world. In fact, not marvellous at all, because we get far too much of it. If only there was a way that we could kind of share it, but we can't do stuff like that. So what do you think of that? Technology strikes again. The marvels of modern ingenuity, mankind, people kind, as Justin Trudeau calls us now, people kind forging ahead, changing climates, changing how people live, changing the whole demographic makeup of a nation, turning a desert into a monsoon. Where will it end? Don't know, but it's probably good, and it's certainly good for the people of Dubai. If they can get a lot more water into the mix to balance out all that desert and sand and blistering heat, I think it's no bad thing. Yeah, Bula Boss, well done to all concerned, and well done to the people of Dubai.